Amongst a roster of so much raw talent, it's becoming harder and harder for fighters to stand out without trash talking their way to the top. But there are exceptions to every rule, with fighters being so entertaining and interesting that you can't help but turn your head and pay attention. Which fighters am I talking about? Example number 1, Charles the Bronx Oliveira. A fan favorite, Charles can barely speak English, but he is loved by the fans for his exciting fighting style and the pure energy that he brings to the octagon. Example number 2, Benoit Saint Denis.
I will do everything I can to win it. All I want is a victory.
That Saint Denis guy is a f***ing killer.
Born on the 18th of December 1995 in Nîmes, France. As the eldest of 5 brothers, Benoit's father was a French army officer who practiced judo at a decent level, and his mother was a teacher. Saint Denis practiced judo in France and Germany from the ages of 8 to 16, and would be eventually handed his black belt. Being very physically active in his youth, he also played football and rugby union growing up. Prior to starting MMA, Benoit was part of the 1st Marine Infantry Paratroopers Regiment, a unit of the French Army Special Forces Command. 2017 was also the period around which he started training MMA, as he began kickboxing with Stephanie Sosparagai and BJJ with Christophe Savolka, which was close to his regiment. He also competed in BJJ, where he won various championships in multiple weight classes across Europe between 2017 to 2019. As he continued to practice martial arts, he was considering pursuing a career in the sport. During his time as part of the Special Forces unit in the French Army, he received the Medal of the Nation's Gratitude and the Combatant's Cross after serving 5 years, as he would spend time combating terrorism in West Africa and fighting in the Mali War. Finally, in 2019, after 5 years of service, Saint Denis would leave the army. His time in the army was where the nickname God of War came from, a reflection of who he is as a man. Unlike many other fighters, Saint Denis started training mixed martial arts very late in life. Due to this, he didn't have any time to waste, as he would begin training relentlessly. During a test organized by Daniel Warren, who is a French martial arts coach renowned for coaching fighters such as Anderson Silva, Dan Henderson, and Lyoto Machida, Saint Denis would stand out in the test. As Benoit would end his contract with the army in 2019, he decided to embark on a career in professional MMA in early 2019. He gave himself 2 years to break into the highest level of mixed martial arts because this was the time that he had with his savings to train full time and get signed by the UFC.
You know, when I started in MMA in 2019, I told myself I have 2 years to go to the UFC.
After his time in the military ended, he would decide to pursue mixed martial arts full time. Benoit would make his professional MMA debut on February the 16th, 2019 at Lions FC 8 at 25 years of age, coming up against Marc Dumont, where he would win his first professional fight via guillotine choke in the first round, showing his true determination and a glimpse of what was to come in his future. Staying active throughout all of 2019, Benoit would fight 4 more times that year, competing in promotions all across Europe. He would win 3 of those 4 fights, with the last of those fights being a no contest. While competing constantly, Saint Denis was refining his skills in the cage, becoming better in all disciplines, which was evident as he was still undefeated. But surprisingly, he revealed in an interview that he had only started practicing wrestling in late 2019 and early 2020. After the no contest bout, he would beat his next opponent, Ivica Trusek, in his next fight at WFC 24, winning the fight via knee bar late into the first round. With 6 MMA fights under his belt and 5 victories, it was clear to see that joining the Bulgarian top team was very good for the projection of Benoit's career, but his projection would have to slow down due to COVID-19. Although he had faced some obstacles with COVID slowing him down, he would continue his winning streak in Brave FC, winning his next 3 fights from August the 8th, 2020 to August the 1st, 2021, winning by TKO and 2 arm triangle submissions respectively. Fighting under Daniel Warrior's guidance, he stayed undefeated with all 8 of his wins coming by finish, fighting across the middleweight, welterweight and super lightweight divisions.
I was fighting like 6 times the first year. I got to go to the Brave Combat Federation. I did great there,
where he ended up as the #1 contender of the super lightweight division at the time when he accepted his invitation to the UFC. After his impressive performances across Europe, Saint Denis would have the opportunity to showcase his skills on the largest stage of mixed martial arts. This opportunity in the UFC would mean that he would have to come up against the toughest opponents that MMA had to offer. And this was evident in his first fight in the promotion. Coming up against Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos on the 30th of October 2021, Saint Denis would lose the fight 29-26 on all judges' scorecards, with the second round being 10-8 and the third round being 9-9. Although he lost the bout, Saint Denis showed a true heart as he was willing to keep fighting despite almost being knocked out multiple times in the second round. Despite losing his fight, it was a fight he took on short notice at welterweight, which wasn't his natural weight class. After losing his previous bout at welterweight, Benoit would return to the lightweight division. Despite facing the first loss of his MMA career, Saint Denis would bounce back in his next fight against Nicolas Stolze on June the 4th, 2022, as he would win his fight 1 minute and 32 seconds into the second round via rear naked choke. This winning streak would continue, beating Gabriel Miranda, Ismael Bonfim, and Thiago Moises. He won these bouts via TKO, face crank, and TKO respectively, also winning a performance of the night bonus in his fight against Gabriel Miranda. This 4-fight winning streak demonstrated Saint Denis's ability to want to be the best and his ability to bounce back from adversity. These wins would grant Benoit the opportunity to fight his first ranked opponent in the UFC, that opponent being Matt Frivola. Taking place on November the 11th, 2023, Saint Denis would step into the octagon with the crowd booing him, but 1 minute and 31 seconds into the first round, he would land one of the smoothest head kicks, stopping his opponent and coming out with the victory.
Yeah, you know, I'm a southpaw, so I use my kicks a lot. Right leg, left leg, but the left leg is my best weapon.
Win after win after win. It's clear to see that Saint Denis is not only an exceptional fighter, but a natural-born athlete, excelling in any field he is in. Now fighting out of Warren Team Elite, Benoit is a well-rounded fighter, being an exceptional wrestler and grappler, being a black belt in judo and a brown belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Benoit typically employs a southpaw stance and looks to utilize his strong kicks and hooks coming hard over the top, as well as using subtle movements to pin his opponents to the octagon. He uses his takedowns effectively, as he is known for using a single leg mainly, but also takes advantage of the double leg takedown as well. His ability to control the fight on the ground is exceptional, with a lot of his wins coming via a variety of submissions. As a very complete fighter, one of the main weaknesses he possesses is the fact that his striking defense can leave his chin exposed, but he has shown huge improvements to his style since joining the UFC. He also has trouble with counter strikers, as seen in the fight against Dos Santos, as he couldn't build much momentum during the fight, and he sometimes telegraphs his takedowns too much. But due to his strength, this hasn't been too much of an issue yet. With UFC 299 right around the corner, Benoit opens his fight being the betting favourite. But the question still remains. How will he handle coming up against one of the toughest fighters in the division?
I would love to face Dustin Poirier because he's obviously the most realistic fight.
And his biggest challenge to date, Dustin Poirier.